When I think about my heroes in art, I think about people who know what they want to do and do it. They're not trying to find out what the audience likes, they're not following some theoretical or political principle that they were taught at school. They just feel it. And I think that when an artist connects to their own intuition that way, you feel it in their art. I'm thinking about Rage Against the Machine, for instance, coming up on the BBC to perform Killing in the Name of live, and the producers telling them not to sing the explicit part of the chorus, the "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." I imagine they didn't even have to say anything to one another, they just knew, and they went on to create one of my favorite moments in the history of art, ever. The producers literally told them what to do, and they responded by getting up on stage and shouting, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me! Fuck you, I won't..."
Sorry, we needed to get rid of that because that suddenly turned into something we were not, we were expecting it and asked them not to do it, and they did it anyway.
Today I'd like to talk about something a little more subtle. A poem, a song if you want to be technical about it, but I'd like to analyze it as I would a poem. Les Claypool is a hero of mine not just because he chooses to write surprisingly complex poetry in a genre in which that isn't common, but because I don't even know what genre this is. The decision to center his band Primus around this super aggressive slap bass sound and this pretty unique singing style is a clue to what kind of artist it is that we are dealing with. The song is called Golden Boy. I can't claim for certain that it is about racial relations, but I can definitely claim that it is about the ease in which people kill each other, a subject very close to my heart. When writing about injustice, there is a temptation to scream, to curse, to convey the message in the most direct way possible, just like Rage Against the Machine often do. But Les is a confident poet. He doesn't tell you what the song is about. He trusts you to figure it out. He gives you just enough information to put it together. You could go as far as saying that in this case, less is more. Sorry. Let's read it together and you'll see what I mean. He was a mighty golden boy, as gold as ever seen. When he stepped up to the podium, you could tell that boy was mean. He worked nights at the liquor mart, and he drank to pad his pay. When he caught him lifting 40s, he shot a boy last May. Let's stop here because the last sentence is kinda wonky. When the golden boy caught a thief stealing bottles of beer, the golden boy shot the thief, who was also a boy. His momma asked why. His lawyer in the courtroom made a noble plea, and the judge, he gave him 18 months, but he was out in 3. When asked if he ever felt remorse while sitting up in that pen, he said, "Hell nah, you know, a thief's a thief, and I'd shoot that fucker again, yes I would." His mama asked why. Okay, so where do we see the confidence in the writing here? Let's look at the last sentence. Another writer would describe in detail the grief, the tragedy of having a person torn away from the lives of everyone who loves them. But Les knows his stuff. He knows that the 5 syllables, "his mama asked why," are enough if you're willing to do the work of unfolding that grief on your own. This why is not an inquiry for a specific reason. It is an indictment against God. So that part is relatively clear. But there was a part that really confused me on the first read. Confusion, I feel, is the heart of analysis. I usually start with the thing that confuses me the most. And here we have this part. "Hell no, I know a thief the thief, and I'd shoot that fucker again, yes I would." I could read the sentence all day, like the rhythm of it is so good. Try it out out loud, like it's just fun to say. It confused me because Les makes it sound so cool, particularly the way he sings it. So at first I considered that Les might just make that statement unironically, that there is something intrinsic to the thief that makes it okay to shoot them. Of course, I myself disagree with this, but when I listen to people that I appreciate, I always stay open to the possibility that they are right and I am wrong. Obviously, here I couldn't accept that, so I did a little bit of comparative analysis. I know that Les likes his ballads of violent males, whether human, feline, or bovine, and these ballads are more descriptive than prescriptive. That is, they describe reality, not so much tell you what to do with it. For instance, he knew the game of fisticuffs, he knew the game of fight, but no one knew the game would come and take his life that night. Or the laconic, "dog will hunt," as if to say, it is what it is. Is that all that Golden Boy offers, a depiction of senseless violence? That's what I thought, until I found this little clue hinting that the statement is made in order to be challenged. He drank to pad his pay. A thief's a thief, I'd shoot that fucker again. He drank to pad his pay. What do we get when we focus on these two sentences? The Golden Boy is saying that the thief, any thief, is deserving of a violent death, but he himself also steals, though he uses a softer word, drank, and a justification to pad his pay. As if to say, he wasn't stealing, he was just drinking because they weren't paying him enough. The ability to lie to oneself, the ability to steal liquor and then justify the act of killing a man, no, a boy, because he too stole liquor, is the answer to the why that the dead boy's mama is asking. I lied, it is an inquiry. The answer to the question, God, why did my child have to fucking die, is not because he stole 40s. The answer is because the Golden Boy wanted to shoot him. And, of course, because the Golden Boy was permitted to act on that desire, both by his internalized moral compass as well as the external judicial system. Meanwhile, Rage Against the Machine just say what they want to say. No am is my name, and I say on to thee. Write whatever the fuck you want to write, you hear? Big thanks to Dan and Duck for better listening to the video, as well as a huge thanks to Dr. Chike. Dr. Chike, my first Patreon ever, which has transformed me by his donation from a guy who writes without getting paid to a guy who now gets paid to write. This is pretty amazing. Thanks.